Today, we will talk about the four Asian tigers: Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. The four Asian tigers are the high-growth economies of Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. Fueled by exports and rapid industrialization, the four Asian tigers have consistently maintained high levels of economic growth since the 1960s. Also known as the Asian dragons, the countries that make up the four Asian tigers share common characteristics, including a sharp focus on exports, an educated populace, and high savings rates. In the 1960s, South Korea's per capita gross domestic product was comparable to the poorest countries in Asia and Africa. But in the 4 decades since then, the country has observed substantial growth, affected in part by a system of close government, directed credit, and import restrictions. As of April 2023, South Korea had a total GDP of $1.72 trillion and a per capita GDP of $33,390 with a growth rate of 1.5% and a population of 51.6 million. Despite its contentious relationship with China, Taiwan has thrived over the last 4 decades. As of April 2023, Taiwan's GDP per capita was $33,910. Due to pressure from China, the country is not a part of the United Nations, but it has nevertheless emerged as a reliable exporter. Its GDP was $790.73 billion with a growth rate of 2.1%, making this nation of 23.3 million people one of the strongest economies in Asia. Hong Kong is considered a special administrative region in China, which gives it freedom over all its activities except for its defense until the year 2047, at which time Hong Kong and China will reassess their relationship. The latest reports show that the region ranks exceptionally high on scales measuring economic freedom, boasting a GDP of approximately $383 billion as of April 2023, a GDP per capita of $52,430, a growth rate of 3.5%, and a population of 7.3 million. Although it has only 5.7 million citizens, Singapore had a GDP of $515.6 billion, a GDP per capita of $91,100 as of April 2023, and a growth rate of 1.5%. Considered one of the least corrupt nations in the world, Singapore has a notoriously transparent regulatory environment and well-secured property rights, which provide valuable commercial security to its private sector. Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, and Indonesia are sometimes referred to as the tiger cub economies, because while they have developed more slowly than the four Asian tigers in the decades since the 1950s, they have nonetheless grown at a steady rate. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. The four Asian tigers are the high-growth economies of Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. 2. All 4 economies have been fueled by exports and rapid industrialization, and have achieved high levels of economic growth since the 1960s. 3. The countries that make up the 4 Asian tigers share common characteristics, including a sharp focus on exports, an educated populace, and high savings rates. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.